Ciao a tutti ragazzi, siamo qui da casa mia a Tarifa oggi, il tempo un po' uggioso, un po' schifo, la verità. Oggi sono qui per farvi vedere esattamente come si produce un foil. Dopo il successo e le svariate domande in merito al video, che vi linko qui sopra, su come orientarvi per scegliere le misure del foil, dunque ieri ero a un barbecue qui a Tarifa e ho rivisto Sam, un mio carissimo amico qui di Tarifa ed anche ingegnere. Sam è il founder e brand manager di ONIX FOIL, una startup che produce foil con tecniche di stampa 3D qui a Tarifa. ONIX FOIL esiste già da svariati anni. Sam è fantastico, giovane e strapieno di idee, oltre anche ad essere giudice per svariatissime famosissime competizioni di wingfoil ad oggi nel mondo, per esempio la Wingfoil World Tour. La ONIX FOIL porta avanti un'idea di commercio e riciclo super sostenibili che condivido pienamente. È proprio per questo che sono onorata di farvi entrare con me nel suo laboratorio per farvi vedere come si produce un foil. Trattasi di produzione locale, quindi in Europa, a Tarifa, di materiali sportivi, senza quindi causare emissioni e inquinamento dati inevitabilmente dal commercio globale. Sam fa anche una cosa geniale, secondo me, ovvero dà l'opportunità di riciclare il proprio foil, il proprio set di front wing e back wing. Ovvero, se li date la vostra front wing e back wing, che magari sono troppo grandi per voi, avete bisogno di progredire e quindi avete bisogno di una misura più piccola, più versatile, ecco, gliela date a lui con il programma ONIX Exchange e ve ne crea una più piccola basicamente. In questa maniera dal vostro grande front wing ne avete uno più piccolo. Cioè, fantastico. Vi metto qui in basso anche il loro sito per saperne di più e il loro Instagram. In ogni caso potete chiedermi direttamente. Ma questo era solo per farmi una piccola intro, adesso vi porto direttamente con me nel loro laboratorio, che tra l'altro è qui di fronte a casa mia, per farvi vedere come si produce un foil. Allora andiamo. Eh sì, è proprio inverno.
Hello.
This is Sam.
So we upcycle foils. So this already has been on the water for a long time, and we just recondition it, and it looks as new. It could be a new, and yeah, people use it again. So we recondition parts here a lot.
Good.
Yeah, we have quite a few. We do like this. We actually make the covers out
This
of
is a new product,
recycled
huh?
wetsuits.
With
Yeah.
recycled wetsuits.
So you can see here
Wow,
the wetsuits.
cool.
Yeah.
So people just bring you the wetsuits?
Yeah, we
and
have a
you
lot
can
of
recycle?
wetsuits, and we just cut it, and yeah, we just put it as a cover.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Super.
So that's how we make them. We have the sewing machine here. And, so we make everything in the house. It's more independent style.
The preparation?
You need a few things. You need the mold.
Yep.
So, for example, this is one part of the two half of the mold.
Okay.
So the mold is important because it gives the final shape when you press. And so you need the mold. You also need a lot of carbon fiber.
Yes.
So
That's surely.
you have different fibers with different properties. And this is bidirectional carbon. This as well. And this is unidirectional carbon. So what does it mean actually? Unidirectional, it means only one direction.
Okay.
And it means that the fiber is going only in one direction, so it's very strong only
Okay.
direction.
Yeah.
So when you do a foil with a big span, you want to do the direction along the span,
Yeah.
so it doesn't flex and it doesn't break.
Absolutely.
So you can touch, it's quite thick actually. So yeah, we have to put quite a few layers. So we need to put them in the mold and we need to mix with resin. Because what is a composite? Composites is the association of fiber and resin. And if you take fiber like this, it's really not strong.
Yeah.
But if you take resin, I can show you later how is resin when it's dry, is not strong as well. But when you mix them together, it's becoming really strong. So it's a good association. And finally, the last thing you need, WINGFOIL, is the core. So the nucleus. So we do something that nobody else does on the market, is that we use the wood to make the shape that goes inside the mold. So you see the mold is also made out of wood, and we really try to use the eco material, to make things different and more eco-friendly. They do with a chemical foam, and the molds, they will be made out of aluminum, which is a lot of metal and is not good for the environment. And this is sustainable, and it's so very light.
Super light.
Yeah, well, if you make a light core, the foil is gonna be very light as well. But you need to put more carbon, if not, it's gonna break.
Hello.
This is a model that we use for kite foil.
Okay.
Because it's very, very fast, very small, and it has a lot of pop. And this is the mold. It's made out of wood as well, but we put carbon to reinforce it. And this, you're gonna like it, Sarah, is going to an Italian guy.
Oh, really? Nice.
So yeah, he's very excited, and we try to make it before Christmas so he can have it under the tree.
Nice.
So this, you see, is not wood. It's actually 3D printed material. So we have the 3D printers just there in the other room. And why we do 3D printing this one is because it's very small. So actually it doesn't make a big difference that it's made out of plastic or wood
Okay.
in terms of weight.
Okay. Okay.
Because if you 3D print the big core that I showed before, it's going to be so big and so much material that it's going to be very heavy.
Okay.
So that's why we don't do anymore. But for small parts, it's very economical.
You have a specific measure when you arrive to this kind of production and then to the other one, like to the 3D printing.
Yeah.
It is minimum in terms of area.
This is 430, so it's very small.
Very small.
And the other one, it was 800.
Okay.
So from 600, we stopped to do 3D printing.
Okay.
Because it starts to be a lot of time as well to print.
Of course.
Maybe 15 hours. And then it's very heavy. So yeah, we use the wood. It's so super good.
Super.
So yeah, today what we're gonna do is make this foil.
Yes.
And so we have the fiber there. We're gonna prepare now the resin.
Okay.
We're gonna mix it. And then we will put the layers one by one. And we will close the mold.
Okay.
So that's the plan for today. First thing first, we will have to prepare the resin. So I think Araceli will do it. Yeah, it's the 430. I think we didn't put it there, no?
So like number 50.
I think we should do 300 and prepare 50 if we need more. Okay?
350.
Yeah. So we do 100, 100, 100, and we wait. Maybe we need more, and because we do a custom. So yeah, something we can say is that this foil we're gonna do is for a bigger kiter,
Okay.
foiler, and he wants something really strong. So
Okay.
we gonna put more carbon than on the average.
Okay.
So we make custom for foils for people.
Cool.
So I think it's nice, so they don't have to break and buy another one.
Yeah.
What is left? So
Yeah.
basically, when a foil or handle is coming out of the mold, it's like this. So I don't have foils that are.
The handles, yeah.
So these are the handles, the bigger handles, and you see there is a lot of carbon left over on the sides.
Yeah.
And we will go and cut here the outline, and then we just sand it to make it perfect.
Nicer. Yeah.
So this is
Right, also this way.
careful. It's light. Be careful of the fiber; it can
Yeah.
stick on the sides. So yeah, is a bit of sanding in the end. Then we put some logos or the varnish, and
Yeah.
it's finished.
You can also personalize, no? Some progettos.
Yeah, for the handle, we do the pad and we put the name and the phone number. So if you lose it,
Yeah.
you can go ride and somebody find it and calls you. And this is where we actually send. So the dust doesn't go
Everywhere.
or we try to be thin. And here we use this stuff for water sanding. So it's very important when you finish the foil, you want to use water.
Okay.
Because then you can be very precise and you can also take dust away instantly.
Okay.
So it's cleaner and easier to work with. This is the paint booth there. So this is where we paint, or if we need to make a custom foil, we will paint the logo of the club or the shop. You can see here the printer.
Yes.
So now it's really printing a model.
Okay.
It could be the same model as we just gonna make now.
Yes.
Once it's done on the computer,
Yeah.
I have a program. I will show you, and I just put the information on the SD card,
Yes.
and then the printer is gonna take the plastic,
Yes.
and is a wheel here, and it's gonna take the filament,
Mm.
and here it's gonna get super hot, like 200 220 degrees.
Wow.
And it's gonna melt. And when it arrives at the end, we don't really see the end there on the bottom. It's gonna get in the air again, and it will get really hard, and that's how we have the shape. Let's go. So there is a small end, and it moves, and when it touch the material, you get the final shape.
Nice.
So that's how we 3D print. So you see, it's quite fast, huh?
Yeah.
Goes fast.
How does it take to do a shape of a phantom, for example?
Like the one we're gonna do
Yeah.
now, it took I think 8 hours
Okay.
in total.
Okay.
But so I go on the morning, I put one to print, then at the end of the day it's finished. I don't do anything, you know.
Yes.
So yeah, it's really fast when it's like this. So I can show you on the computer.
Little fast explanation. You continue to do the workshop also sometimes.
I do one 10 days.
Okay.
So this is the 3D design software. It's called Rhino.
Mm-hmm.
Here. You know it? It's really nice for designs. And so this is basically where I design all the models. So you can see here is a new model that I designed a few weeks ago. Yeah, basically I can control all the lines. All that you see here is the skeleton of the product. So for example, when it's the beginning, when it's nothing, it's like this.
Yeah.
And then I will use the profiles here to make some connections.
Yes.
And in a very smooth way. So actually, I would actually use these lines. Okay, so you see here you have all the 3D shape skeleton, and then you can generate the surface. I mean, maybe it's not interesting to mention it, but this is all you do. It's a very basic operation.
Yeah.
And this way you build the foil one by one.
Okay.
And it's very important that you control this here, very nice, because then you can the profile of the foil change a lot the
Of
performance.
course. Yeah.
If it's very thick, if it's very thin, if it's long, a lot of things can change. And also the angle of attack is very
Yeah.
important. So here you can see that the profile here is very thick, and when you get to the tips, it's getting nearly symmetric. It's
Mm-hmm.
very thin, so it makes the foil very efficient.
And this is depend on what the customer wants, basically.
Yes,
So according to the
it depends on the
level,
shape.
everything,
Like
the shape they
for
want.
example, for the beginners, I make a thick profile.
Yeah.
And so it's more predictable. It's slow, but it's easy. And for experienced people, I will put a thin profile so it goes fast. It has a lot of glide. So it's really different on the models. Yeah, you can see here the molds, for example. So this is where I designed them as well. So
You can change the form and everything according to many things, right?
yes, there are a lot of parameters, a lot of parameters. But when you have designed the model, you cannot touch it anymore.
Exactly.
And you have to make the mold. So this is the mold I showed you before in the workshop. And you can see this is how it's designed. And then I will put it in the program where we can actually slice it. And I mean, this is not the same. This is for 3D printing, but for the CNC, it's the same concept. You put the piece in a program,
Yeah.
and it's gonna make the slicing, so the path of the machine to cut it.
Wow. So
So here you can see part I'm printing now.
Yes.
This is it. It was starting like this in the beginning, and it will print until the end.
8 hours, 25? Is
Yeah.
the time?
8 hours for this.
Cool.
This is all the design parts, and also there is an engineering part. There is a software that does the analysis. So this is a engineering program, and you can make simulations, 3D simulations. So you can charge. Here I just open a program, and you have different modules, and in this module you can charge a section of the hydrofoil, and you can make some analysis about it. So here you see there is a lot. I did a lot of experiments. You see there are a lot of different ones, and they look similar, but it's a big difference. And if you look at the thickness here, it's 9, 10, 9.9, 10.1, 11.2. So is a very specific things,
Yeah.
and every parameter is gonna make very different behaviors.
Yes, for sure. No, I know.
So here is another module where you can actually analyze, if you can project the water flowing around the section, and you have some results, and you can make some analysis. For example, here you can see the coefficient of lift. So
Okay.
you can calculate how much lift you have for which angle of attack.
Yeah.
So you say, okay, I have 5-degree angle of attack, and the coefficient of lift will be this. So I know that I am with 5 meter per second, it will have enough lift to bear 100 kilo.
Okay.
So, and then you say, okay, so I need to choose this angle. This is a very easy way to explain, but there are a lot of things that you can learn from it. So basically, this is how you choose your profile section, and then you can actually even make some 3D analysis. So you can build a 3D model, and this is a model that we have existing, is the Osprey model.
Yeah.
And you can build it, and you can make a lot of simulations as well, and you can check many things. Yeah, you can see I did many.
You are normally the first tester on the water, right, Sam?
Yeah, I'm the first person to go and test for sure. So yeah, I can run an analysis now. It's quite fast, and it's an open source program, so everyone can have it.
CC can access, no?
And you have a lot of curves, a lot of data. Basically, you see here all what you have the speed, you have the angle of attack, you have the lift coefficient, the drag coefficient. So you know that for 5 meter per second water flow, you will have the entire lift coefficient of the foil, that is equal to 0.09. It doesn't say a lot like this, but it's very powerful because it means that you can make simulations like this, and you don't need to go to the water to test, and you can try many things. And then when you know what works and what is the best, you choose the model, and then you finalize the design. So this is actually this is more the research part. Then what I showed you for the design is more the design, production, the start of the production. And then we have the production of the mold and the nucleus, and then we make it.
You start to do the production itself. Ready? D'ora in poi, ragazzi, c'era l'aspiratore a full, fa un bel casino, quindi vi dico io un po' cosa sta succedendo. Qui alla sede sta attivando la resina, mischiandola rapidamente. La resina è già stata pesata e divisa in bicchieri da 50 grammi cada uno in precedenza, per un totale di 300 grammi. Bisogna fare presto, massimo 10-15 minuti, per non far sì che la resina già inizi a solidificarsi. Anche l'amica V aiuta. Qui Ara inizia a mettere il primo strato di resina sullo stampo. Vi ricordo che ogni stampo è unico e progettato appositamente per ogni nucleo ala. Qui Sam mette il primo strato di fibra sugli stampi. e Ara subito mette resina. Ora Sam mette il primo strato di fibra di carbonio. Come vedete è molto importante riempire bene tutta l'area con la resina. Qui V sta completando la resina sulla base, intanto Sam mette altro strato di fibra di carbonio. Ora vengono messi dei filamenti di fibra di carbonio nel centro dove stanno i fogli per le viti, proprio per aumentare la resistenza alle rotture. Alternati con altri livelli di fibra di carbonio, anche per evitare che le viti a lungo andare rovinino l'ala. Ora Sam mette altro strato di fibra di carbonio direttamente sull'ala e subito resina. Altro strato di carbonio. Vi ricordo che, a seconda del modello, Sam alterna differenti tipi di fibra di carbonio, tra quelli che vi mostravo all'inizio del video, fibra di carbonio mono e bidirezionali. Sam qui mette un altro strato e le ragazze continuano rapide con la resina. Mi dice che questo modello ha in totale 6 più 6 strati di fibra di carbonio. Deve essere un'ala leggera, ma allo stesso tempo resistente per kite foil, per una persona abbastanza pesante. Ora Ara lo gira per iniziare gli strati dall'altro lato. Qui Sam inizia a tagliare un po' i bordi in eccesso per poi rimettere ancora resina e fibra. Ora Sam mette dei piccoli strati di fibra di aramete molto resistente, molto forte per impatti, e la vanno a mettere nell'area centrale dell'ala per rendere il foil ancora più resistente. Non va messa troppo vicino al bordo di attacco. Ora Sam mette nello stampo il prototipo ed è pronto per mettere la fibra aramid anche dall'altro lato. Ora si può chiudere lo stampo. Mettono le prime morse e poi lo allineeranno bene prima di chiuderle completamente. Deve essere perfettamente allineato, come vedete la resina già esce essendo schiacciato. Ora mettono una pressa ogni circa 5 cm e stringono tutto a full.
And then after this, what's happening? How long is gonna stay there?
So now it's gonna stay 6 hours, but all night.
All night, let's
Yeah.
say, of course.
All night, and tomorrow morning we open it, so we take the clamps out.
Yes.
And it's the process of sanding and finishing.
Things to do after tomorrow that you open the thing. What are you gonna do after?
So I'm just gonna sand it,
Yes.
cut the outline,
Yes.
sand it with the water to make it
Okay.
very smooth,
Yes.
and then it's finished. I
Then
put the
it's
graphic and it's finished.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow. A ver, a ver.
Aquí tenemos la máquina
Ah, okay.
y se puede cortar madera
Yes.
con la forma que quieres.
Ah, qué chulo.
Es la misma cosa que impresión 3D.
Que misma, ¿no? Same.
Mismo principio, tú tienes un objeto y impresión 3D tú vas a añadir material,
Ya.
pero aquí te vas a eliminar material.
Claro.
Tienes un trozo de madera
Claro.
y vas a quitar lo que no te gusta.
Claro, en plan, sí, como hacen cualquier trabajo de madera, ¿no?
Sí.
Qué guay. You do then this kind of production with the wood and still with 3D, right?
Yeah, for the very small parts 3D,
Very
but
small.
for the big ones wood.
Wood.
Yeah, just one model with 3D. Actually.
Okay.
The rest is wood.
What you do, Sam, with the recycled front wings or
Yeah.
back wings? So what's the process?
So we have an exchange program.
Yes.
So when you buy a wing from us, people can exchange it. So you give it back to us, we recondition it, and you get a discount on the new one.
Okay.
So, for example, if it's in really good state, the wing that you give back, you can get 300 euros discount,
Okay.
and you can get the new one for half price.
Okay.
So that way, people can really grow with the brand, and they can change wings fast and at low cost. And us, we can recycle it, and it's going back to another customer.
Cool.
So it's nothing goes to the trash.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's always coming back in the shop, and we have some wings that we recondition, but it's no waste.
Nice.
Like nothing stay in the garage of someone, is always coming back, because the people, if they don't need it, they just give it back.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's a good initiative.
So cheers, guys. Salud. Salud.